Hello crafters, welcome to another How To Wow. I'm Nicole Watt, the Pixel Maven at Pixel Maven's Retreat. This episode we'll be looking at making a spinner for your card. It's pretty easy to do and one that you should add to your stamping toolkit so you can do these real fun little spinner elements in your designs. So this is a card that I'm sharing on my blog today, but I'm going to show you how to do it with some scraps that I had laying around. So let's take a look. I have a card base here. It measures 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So basically the first step is to kind of decide what paper you want to have that's going to cover it. You need 2 pieces to do a good spinner card. So because you're going to sandwich everything in between. For this one, my next sheet does not cover the whole piece of the whole card base. It only covers part of it. So it's at 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And I know that that's going to get centered right on here like so. So what I'm going to do is start off by figuring out on here where I want to have my spinner appear. Now I decided to use a few little elements to show you 2 different ways using the birthday banners. We're using both the balloon punch and then this small sentiment, it's your big day, with this little frame that goes around it. And I already have those cut out. So you need 2 of each. And then you need to decide what size opening that you'd like to have. So I like to use my punch reference to see how big I want something to be. So I'll keep sizing down until I get to one that I like. And this time I decided that I want to have a real small opening, so I'm going with the 1 3/4 circle. You could also go with our new starburst punch or any other shape really that you wanted. You could use a die cut if you want, but today I'll be showing you how to do it with the punch. So this is an old style whale tail punch if you've never seen this before. And I just want to decide where on the card I want the spinner to happen. Now with a punch you're limited by how far the punch will go in, and you have to remember that if your piece is going to be smaller than your card base, that you're limited really by how far it will go in on your card base, which usually is not all the way to the center. So that's something really to keep in mind. So I think I want this card to go this direction, and I'm going to put the spinner right about here. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch this out, and I'm not going to push it all the way in because remember I need to make sure that I've got some extra room. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and punch that out. And now that I have that done, I can go ahead and mark my card base where I want that same circle to go. So I just eyeball that, and I'm going to take a pencil and mark this real light so I have a really good guide. And now I can just go ahead and punch this out too. Alright, so now I know that when I go ahead and line these up, actually let me open this so you can see it a little better, that those are going to line up perfectly and that I have a nice border around this card. Okay, so now onto the spinner. So this very simply, you just need some glue dots, some twine or thin thread, and your 2 elements. So you just need a glue dot. There's 2 ways you could do the spinner. So I'll show you the balloon first because that's easier. So I'm just going to take a piece of thread, and you see how this kind of comes together. So this just goes right here and cut off the excess. All right, and then I'm going to put 1 balloon behind and put a little bit of adhesive on this one, and make sure that you get right down the center where the there we go, more than I wanted, that's okay. So you make sure that you've got enough glue right down the center where the thread or twine is so that it will grab. And then you're just going to sandwich those together. And the nice thing about using the glue dot is you can take it off if you want. If you prefer to do it this way, you certainly can. So you would just sandwich this between 2 pieces the two pieces with a piece of twine. And then you can attach it to the glue dots afterwards. You can do that too. All right. So then that goes right here. And then I would just go ahead and take this, put adhesive on it, and use it to sandwich everything together. So that's just for one sample here. And I'll show you the other one in a second. So this works out nice because the balloon is just gonna flip back and forth, which is really kind of cute, right? So the other option is to do it this way and use some words. So if at all possible, I like to do the words in a some kind of frame, so that way you can make it so that they flip upside down from each other. So instead of, how do I explain this? If you put them both going the same direction, so you have one this way and one this, that didn't work out well, did it? If you have them both going the same direction, like so, and you just put them back to back, then it's going to flip like this, and one side will be upside down. So flip one over, so that way they're back to back like this. One's upside down from the other. And with your string going through this way, then it will always be right side up. And that's how I did this sample here. So this is one side, and then if you flip it, it's the other side is still facing up. And the nice thing is then when you open the card up, you can see, you can still see it the right side up. Okay, so let's take a look at doing it this direction. Now you could go long ways still if you want and just have it spin around. If you did that, you would want the words to go the same direction like so. But we're going to do it the other way. So there we go. Okay. So here's an alternate way to do that. I just put a little bit of glue right down the center, and I'm going to put my thread here. So this is instead of putting the thread first and gluing, so just a contrast for you. All right, and then get them going the direction you want them to go. All right. There we go. So now I have a spinner. That's always the right side up. And then I just go ahead and attach those onto the glue dots. Trim as necessary. And go ahead and adhere the top piece using glue all the way around. And then you would have a spinner card this way. So whether you're using words or you're using an image, either way works out really well for a spinner card. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you use it in an upcoming project. Don't forget to use the hashtag that I've got listed in the description, and hopefully I'll find your project and I can share it on social media. Until next time, happy crafting.